Hello, hello, hello. Namaste. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Cricket for Us. And yes, we're watching day 3 of the Ashes 2021 slash 2022. And again, I'm just putting the TV on because it's just crashed. It decided to update. The TV decided to update. Great timing, don't you think? But yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I'm going to begin shortly. I will get the scorecard up for you guys as well. And then we are a go. So yeah, how's everyone doing? I'm just putting the match on, and yeah, so far all I want to talk about before we go into anything, like genuinely, the way Travis had batted yesterday. He was what, like 14 off 20 at what stage, right? And it looked like, yeah, maybe he won't do very well. Maybe he's gonna get out. Maybe he'll just play slowly. But he just dispatched the English batsmen. I'm telling you, the way they batted, the way, oh my goodness, my internet's died. That's not good. I don't know if people can see me or not, but my TV seems to tell me that the internet's died, which is great, isn't it? Which is ideal. Anyways, yeah. So the way Travis had batted was outstanding. I want to put the scoreboard on the side here. So let me know when it is visible. I think I'll know. There we go. See, so we got it. We've got it here. That's great. And yeah, guys, Australia are in the driver's seat. They've been in the driver's seat the entirety of this match so far, right? Even yesterday, even when England were bowling well, when they got what was it? Smith got out, then Cameron Green, then Warner, right, just before tea or something. That's when it looked like, oh, maybe England's coming back in, but nope. Travis Head denied them everything. On top of that, Ben Stokes and the amount of no balls he bowled was shocking. Yes, they didn't count for anything, but all I've heard all day is the fact that Ben Stokes bowled a billion no balls or whatever it was, right? And it was just a really, really weird couple of days for England. They just haven't looked the same England that they do at home, right? And Australia have looked like they're bossing this match completely in its entirety. Honestly, come on, man, it's crazy. Now I'm going to read through some of the comments because for some strange reason the TV's just decided not to work. And by the way, the lead is now 200 runs for Australia. They are 347 for 7, right? The internet's supposed to be working. I don't know why this isn't happening. I'm so sorry, guys. I want to be commentating and doing something that you guys would like, but clearly I can't do anything when the TV decides, nope, it's not going to work properly. Disappointing. Disappointing indeed. Anyways, like I was saying, Australia have been very, very good. And I can't really say that they have been bad in any sort of way. England's fielding, though, right? There's a lot of talk about the drop catches and everything. England just hasn't looked like England. They don't have the same fire that they usually do. This side, like losing James Anderson with injury and then obviously dropping Broad for whatever reason they had, I think possibly was the right decision in hindsight. But people are saying maybe not. David Warner would have gotten out a lot earlier. He would have been bowling around the wicket, which is something that England actually did not do. That I was completely shocked about. Right? England did not bowl. Mark, what was it? Mark Wood bowled a few from around the wicket, even Ollie Robinson, but it wasn't a consistent ploy against David Warner in this match so far, which is something I thought was a sure shot, 100%. Right, guys. So I've got the comments here, which is working. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Right, there we go. Adil says, "Hello, assalamu alaikum. I was just Stokes clean ball to Warner. Shame it was. Yeah, it was a no ball. That's so disappointing. That is so disappointing." And and did you check out the comments I posted? I will check them out. I just haven't logged on to that account for a while. The score is 348 for 7. Last ball of the 86th over coming up. Travis Head on strike, and it's Ollie Robinson to continue. So just one run off this over so far. Travis Head getting ready. I'm going to go through some of the comments while we get along. Harris says, let's go indeed. Is cricket for cricket for America streaming today? Let's see, man. I think they should be, but again, I don't know. Their timetables are absolutely manic packed as well. Overthrows? Are you kidding me? Yes, I'm supporting Australia, but still, come on. That's not great. Haseeb Hameed has had at least 2 to 3 bad fielding attempts. I must say, there was one at the boundary. I think it was the fine leg boundary or something like that. Yesterday, there was that almost run out chance, and then now there was this overthrow, which is unfortunate. But yeah, Australia move on to 349 for 7 at the end of the 86th over. I hope they are, Harris. I really hope they are streaming. That would be really cool. This says, is quality shot streaming? Has Jad any ideas or possible collab? I will see if Fazan's available for the next day or the day after that or something like that. Um, I don't. I know he's busy as anything right now. It's winding down in the year, so everyone is jam packed. I'm busy, but I think I'm trying to sort out the days I actually stream on. But I'll speak to Fazan if he wants to collab. We can do a collab. Or I know he was meant to stream yesterday, but you know, it's midnight here, and not everyone can do it all the time, and neither can I. And I don't know how cricket for Americans do it, man. CFA are absolute beasts. All Things Cinema Vodka says, hey, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Keshav, thank you so much for joining. Adil says, Woakes starts to Travis Head, Centurion. Indeed. Thank you for that. Much appreciated, Adil. That's the thing. That's what I needed because obviously I couldn't watch it, but now I can. Now I can, which I'm glad about. Jaden says things not looking good for England. First off, Jaden, thank you so much for joining. I know you're one of the new subscribers to the channel, so much appreciated. For everyone who is old or new or whatever, just please like the video. It really helps the channel. What a pole shot by Travis Head. Smashes Woakes through square leg. Ooh, that's gone for 4, my friend. That has gone for 4. 4 runs to Mr. Travis Head, who moves on to 118 runs. Can you imagine it? Usman Khwaja should have been in the side. Why is Travis Head playing? They could have even played Matthew Wade. He's a better batsman than Travis Head. Travis is like, nope, I got an average of 50 this season in the Sheffield Shield. I'm going to show you what I can do. And he scored a bamboo-stickly amazing 100. And that 4, middle of the bat as well. Fantastic. Oh, Woakes down leg side, and Mr. Head gets a single to short fine leg. Thankfully, Buttler ran to grab that one. They moved to 354 for 7. Yeah, Australia. There's a poll I've got, by the way, on I think this side. Yeah, this side on the chat side. Do vote. Do let me know your thoughts about who do you think or how much you think Australia will score. I've got a feeling that 450 is definitely on the cards. No arguments there. But yeah, not looking good at all. All Things Cinema Podcast says, Mr. Azjad, a very good morning from India. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. A very good night from England. Renell says, good night, Azjad. Hope things are well. Thank you. Thank you very much, Renell. Good afternoon or good evening to you. Yeah, all things are good. Just started a bit late, and Mitchell Starc absolutely smashed Chris Woakes through mid wicket. Oh my goodness, Chris Woakes would not be happy about that. Starc punching him down the ground. That was a very good shot through mid wicket, and that raced away to the boundary. Jaden says West Indies and England 2020, 2022 test match. Both teams struggling with the bat. Yeah, man, that's really unfortunate because England are pretty good. They just don't. No one expects anything from England in Australia, right? Okay, that's the truth. No, not many people are saying England's going to do well in Australia. But to be honest, not many people thought India was going to win in Australia either. So England can pull an upset, but so far Australia has been on top like a beast. Tinderoni says, any pointers on bets, my brother? Tinderoni, first of all, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate it. I'm not a betting man, so I wouldn't tell you, but if you had to go with anyone, would be the team that is doing really, really well, not the team that's doing not so well. So let's just put it that way. But yeah, I'm not a betting man, so unfortunately, I can't give you the best advice. Ibrahim says, hi, how are you? I'm well. I'm well, Ibrahim. Thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated, my friend. Ibrahim says, Usman is playing for Australia A against England Lions, which is going on in the second Brisbane Cricket Stadium. I know about that. I actually know about that. The only reason they selected him was so they can argue with the fact, oh, but he's going to play that. And if Harris doesn't work, or, he's probably going to come in the opening spot as he usually plays, right? So he's going to come in as an opener. If they bat twice, right? If Australia bat twice and Harris doesn't perform twice, I would put Usman Khwaja into the side because I think he's absolute class, but I don't see that happening. I think Australia are probably going to back Harris for at least a couple of tests and then consider bringing Khwaja in because they've gone with a decent mindset, which is something that in the Ashes against England at home they needed to have and they have had. So that's great from their perspective. Where are we? Ibrahim says, today I came across an amazing stat that New Zealand have never beaten South Africa in a test series in history since the two have started playing each other in tests. You know what? I did not know that. Know that, and I can't believe what's on my screen. It's really weird. I'm not even going to try and describe it. Anyways, my wife's laughing. So yeah, playing each other. Yeah, New Zealand is top class, but they haven't been this good in Test cricket for a very, very long time, though. So let's see what happens when South Africa and New Zealand play next. That's going to be an interesting series, a series I'm really, really looking forward to whenever that happens, because that's going to be absolutely brilliant. Abdullah says, I didn't wake up at 2:30 to watch ugly guys in pink. Thanks. Thank you, Abdullah. I'm glad you said it because I wasn't going to say it, but that's exactly what I was talking about. So thanks for reading my mind, my friend. Uh, Keisha says, well, I'm available as I've discontinued my cricket channel. So this could be a rare cricket collab for me these days. Well, I appreciate that. I'll let you know if I need you on, man. But I appreciate that. That's very nice of you. And I'm sorry to hear about your discontinuement, or you're discontinuing your cricket channel. But hope everything picks up. Hope everything else is going well, though. Yeah, guys, 358 for 7 in the 88th over. As always, the Australian public and the English. To be honest, the crowds are always entertaining, but as we can see, the various costumes by the Australian public is pretty funny. So it's great to see. Uh, you got Robinson running into Travis Head, who tries to smash that through covers. He played a shot similar to this yesterday. Actually, he's played like 2 or 3 shots similar to this yesterday, and those were outstanding. Assalamu alaikum. Those were outstanding. Honestly, Travis Head hasn't looked this good since for like at least a couple of years. So very happy, especially in international cricket. So very happy to see this from Travis Head. And Ollie Robinson, first time bowling or playing in Australia. This guy's looked not too shabby. Like, he's using his height to his advantage on every occasion he possibly can. So very impressed with the way he's bowled in this match so far. He's bowled 20 overs almost, and considering the fact that it's his first test in Australia, Mark Wood has super pace, and Chris Woakes is a majority a swing bowler. He's using his height and the bounce, the X factor that he offers very well. And he's the guy who's taken 3 wickets. That's the big thing. He's taken 3 wickets. He's also the player who's looked the most dangerous from an English perspective. Yes, Woakes had a very good economy, but he has looked the most dangerous. Now, this is something that's an interesting stat I've just seen. He's not bowling very quick. And that's something you genuinely need in Australia. Even Hazlewood added like 10, 12 Ks to his speed over the past few years. So Ollie Robinson, the only way he might be able to consistently bowl well and look very, very dangerous in Australia is that pace factor, which is something that what's the name? Mark Wood definitely has. Ibrahim says they playing next in February next year in New Zealand. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So if New Zealand doesn't beat South Africa in New Zealand in February, that's going to be a surprise. I think that's probably going to be the first time then that New Zealand wins the series against South Africa. Jaden says, what's your opinion on the 2022 T20 World Cup women's under 19s and the men's World Cup will play next year? Do you think West Indies can pull off all 3 World Cup again? Ooh, that's a really good question, Jaden. Thank you so much for asking. What I can tell you is West Indies' best format for West Indies is still the T20 format. Doesn't matter how bad they played this time around, okay? This T20 is their best format. There's gonna have players who can do well in bouncy conditions. They're gonna have players who both spin. They're gonna have players that offer some sort of pace as well. Obed McCoy probably be in that. Yes, he doesn't have pace, but he has change of pace, which is very, very crucial in the T20 aspect. With the women's, again, I'm going to be brutally honest here. My knowledge of women's cricket isn't the greatest, but West Indies, England, and Australia specifically, in my opinion, are the 3 teams to watch out for in terms of the World Cup for the Women's World Cup. And the under 19s, it's a giver. It's a toss up for me, right? The under 19 teams are so talented. But the thing is, in my opinion, it's going to be India. And people might disagree with me, but I think India's under 19 squad is absolutely stacked. Now, those are my personal predictions from what I can tell. But I think the best chance West Indies has is probably the Women's World Cup, and then after that, T20 World Cup is probably not as far high on the pedestal, but it's kind of close, I'd say. But that's my personal thoughts. Thank you for asking that question. That is a fantastic question. Thank you, Jaden. There's 17 people in the chat. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please do let me know your thoughts. Please chat in the chat box on here. and we'll have really interesting discussions as we usually do. But thank you so much for joining. 359 for 7. Mark Wood into the attack. A good decision. Woakes with a couple of overs. Now ball the guy who bowls freaking 95-mile-an-hour deliveries. Mark Wood running in to Travis Head. Travis Head cuts that through point for a single. Australia move on to 360 for 7. Adil says, "What am I watching? Ashes or men in uniform and pink tights? What does cricket come down to? It's all for entertainment. It's enjoyable." Renell says, "Nope, not gonna happen." Yeah, I like that brutally honest approach, but I think West Indies might have a better chance in Australia than they did in Dubai. At least that's my take on it in UAE. Even though I did predict West Indies India to reach the final, but the way they played in the UAE in the T20 World Cup, it was like it didn't look like West Indies. It looked like not West Indies. Let's just put it that way. It was very disheartening. All Things Cinema Podcast says actually things are better on the professional front in a way. That's why No Time for Cricket Channel is so happy to give it up for that. All right, fair enough. I'm glad to hear that. Well done, Keshav. Congratulations on that. Abdullah says Australia still dominates the women's cricket. Abdullah, I tell you what, right? I appreciate you telling me that. And again, I've seen West Indies win a lot of matches on the women's front because I keep getting updates because they keep beating Pakistan. Okay. But all I've seen is a few teams win all of their matches. Okay, unless they play, unless it's like England, Australia, or West Indies, England, etc., etc. That's when like there's genuine proper competition. I think there's like 4 proper good women's cricket teams from the little knowledge I have of women's cricket. But thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for letting me know about Australia. I just read that Renell mentioned that South Africa's women's is really good as well. So definitely, this is something I'll need to kind of dive into later on. But so far, again, my prediction is gonna stick with the West Indies. In terms of West Indies, women's team is probably the best team to win a championship next year. Ibrahim says the Pakistan West Indies T20I and ODI series is going to be interesting, especially to see how Puran captains aside compared to experienced team he had when he captained previously. Yeah, man. It'll be a good approach because he is an aggressive kind of batsman. So I don't know how he'll handle that kind of position considering an inexperienced side. But I have faith that West Indies will perform well in Pakistan, even though I think Pakistan's going to win the series. I think West Indies will definitely pull off close games or at least one win against Pakistan in either format, 100%. Ronell says, yep, brutally so honest. Appreciate it very, very much. South Africa women's team are so good too. Thank you very much for letting me know. Jaden says West Indies struggling with the bat in ODIs. They did really good with the ball against Australia, but their bowling let them down. Yep, I think you mean their batting let them down. I hope that's what you meant. But yeah, their batting definitely. West Indies' batting has been a struggle. Look at the Test matches against Sri Lanka. Even if the bowling stepped up, their batting was the big weak link, which you don't want to hear, which is something you don't want to see, right? Because you expect West Indies to be batting aggressively, to be, wily, very, very aggressive kind of players. But over the years, over the past 20 years, West Indies has just gone down and down. They have some really good performances, but then they just can't continuously perform at those high levels, especially in Test cricket. But yeah, I agree with you. Their batting, if that's what you're talking about, because that's what I understand, their batting has been not the greatest, unfortunately. Where are we? All Things Cinema Podcast says, podcast says, sorry. Thoughts on Kohli's ousted from ODI captaincy? No way that was done on merit, given a 70% win ratio, even though Rohit comes in on merit too. Handled a bit unprofessionally. Okay, the little I know about the situation is that so let me rephrase that. I'm not sure how Kohli was ousted. Like, was there just they didn't tell him and they just announced it on national television or in the media to say, "Oh, Rohit's now captain"? I think it makes sense. Like, you could have 3 different captains in all 3 formats, or you have one captain per format. One captain per type of ball. So you have a white ball captain, and you have a red ball captain. Kohli's going to remain the red ball captain for at least a couple of years, at least, right? But in terms of the white ball side of things, I think it was the right call to bring Rohit Sharma into the T20 setup. It's possibly an aggressive approach, a slightly different mindset to bring in Rohit Sharma as the ODI captain because Rahul Dravid is the new coach. Maybe they want to see how that dynamic works. And because Ravi Shastri's left, Kohli's like, maybe Kohli mentioned himself that he didn't want to be ODI captain. I don't know that full situation, but all I'm saying is, all I believe in that situation is that Kohli, yes, his amazing statistics as ODI captain, above 70% win percentage, doesn't matter anymore. All they were looking at was a fresh mindset to get a new captain in, new approaches. Even though Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli could have easily played together, and Virat Kohli be captain and Rohit give him advice, etc., etc. But I think they wanted to pass the mantle down to Rohit Sharma and just see how that goes. And I don't think it's to do with the Mumbai Indians thing that he's captained the side 5 times. Sorry, captained the side to championship levels 5 times. But overall, I'm fairly content with that decision. I'll tell you what. But maybe yes, the way they probably handled it, which I'm not sure what the way is probably not the right way to do it. Also, that was a beauty from Robinson. Robinson, consistent as anything. Travis Head played over 100 deliveries, scored 100 and 120 so far, and he's still playing and missing deliveries from Robinson. He is so dangerous here. I can't believe Cameron Green actually left that delivery as well yesterday. That was Fuller, right? And he left it and he just smashed his off stump. That was crazy personally. That was crazy. Yeah, okay. I think I read that one. Adil says, "Azad, any info on broadcast for?" Yes, it's going to be on Sky Sports Cricket. At least the second innings is what a pull shot by Travis Head. However, just a single. Just a single. Don't worry. It's just 2 runs. Good running there. Good running. I didn't expect them to take two, but that's very good running. 122 Travis Head, 364 for 7 for Australia. Yeah, it's going to be on Sky Sports, Adil. It's going to be on Sky Sports Cricket after 3 o'clock. The match starts at 1, so I think it might be on Sky Sports Mix and then shift on to Sky Sports Cricket and main event afterwards. Bob Marley says England gonna take forever just to wrap up this innings. Bob Marley, I have a feeling England's not gonna wrap this innings in this session. Okay, it seems highly unlikely they're going to, unless Head goes. Unless Head goes quickly, I don't see that happening. I think Australia's gonna stay out there the entire session. Ibrahim says in women's cricket, Australia, England, South Africa, and India and New Zealand are the top sides. Thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you very much. I'm sure West Indies is pretty darn good too. Or maybe it's just because I see West Indies thrashing Pakistan all the time. Maybe that's that. Maybe that's the thing. Sam Crook says I think West Indies need to find some new talent. A bit of an aging team, I would say. I can't disagree. I can't agree with you more. Uh, the thing is, quality of those players like Dwayne Bravo, like Chris Gale, right? You expect them to never never shatter, never go downhill. But the thing is, Chris Gale's getting up there. Bravo's getting up there. You can't keep consistently churning out performance upon performance upon performance. And it probably deems true that they're not going to play in the next T20 World Cup. And they definitely need some new talent. There's no argument there. Adil says Kohli was told to resign but rejected, so he got removed. Oh, yeah, that's wrong. That's not good. That's not a good way to look at it. That's not ideal. Thank you, Adil. Runel says Head 200 plus, 200 not out. Australia 400 plus, looking like it. Yeah, yeah. I don't see Australia declaring. By the way, I have a feeling Australia's gonna, if they can, Australia's gonna back the entire day. Unlikely because they've got Starc and then Hazlewood and Lyon. But well, Lyon can bat a bit. Lyon can bat a bit. But Hazlewood usually doesn't stay around too long. But it's good to see Starc hanging about with Head here, even though Mark Wood is bowling absolute bolts. Ibrahim says West Indies women's team was playing qualifier to qualify for the Women's World Cup. God saved. Thanks to you know what, Ibrahim, thanks for letting me know, man. See, I love it. I love the fact that something I don't know, I'm learning something new every day. So thank you, everyone. There's 30 in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's 366 for 7 in the 91st over. And Starc doesn't look too shabby. Right? Head obviously is looking brilliant. The partnership moves on to 60 of 87. And Mark Wood needs to pull out something out of his socks, man, because he is that key bowler. He's the guy who can bowl 150 kilometers per hour, 95-mile-an-hour deliveries, and he needs to bowl something to get this wicket right now because Australia can keep piling on the runs. They have a lead of 219 so far, okay? They're going to get a lead as much as possible. That's why I think they're going to bat at least, if they can, they're going to bat the entire day minimum. Uh, where is it? Abdullah says, I think they relieved Kohli of the ODI captaincy just to win more tosses. Oh, that's hilarious. Ibrahim says, I would like to add that Sri Lanka and Thailand women's team would have qualified instead of West Indies and Pakistan if it wasn't for COVID. Ugh. You know what, Ibrahim? I'm going to do some research on women's cricket. I'm going to see what I can find out. I'm going to get my daughter and my wife to watch women's cricket with me and tell me if it's something they'll be interested in, and then I might do it on the channel. What do you think? No, she's saying no right now. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Ronell says only ways if youngsters show up in domestic, then you see new faces. You know what? And I think the domestic tournament for West Indies is like January, February, like early next year, isn't it? So we'll see some new, potentially new faces. That will be great to see. That will be great to see. Jaden says West Indies players only bat good in the IPL, but not in international cricket. Fair point. Adil says Australia might declare once Travis is out or Australia 9 down. Do you think so? I think they can easily just pile on the runs and absolutely put the pressure on England because England cannot bat for 2 days in Australia. It seems highly unlikely, especially with the pace they have and with the fact that Nathan Lyon is going to have a field day as well on days 4 and 5. Let's Invest says Australia want to bat until an hour before the storm comes. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I've heard about that. I hope everything's all right or doing better. Again, haven't checked the weather in that much detail at the moment. Nick Rocky 5 says, Sir, Indian ODI new captain have become Rohit Sharma. Is this the right decision, Indian board? Well, yeah, like I said, I think if you're going to go with a T20 captain, if you're going to go with different captains in all formats, or you're going to go with different captains in different bowl types, so red ball and white ball, I'm all for it. Maybe it's a new take, but the way that's done, that I've just found out, it's not the right approach. I think ideally it should have been, oh, you don't want to be, you want to be captain, or don't force someone to resign captaincy because his ODI record, as Keshav said earlier, is not too shabby. He's got a 70% win percentage in ODI games, above 70% actually, right? Which is just outstanding. Ajay says, "Let's go Australia." Well, they are doing okay. They are doing okay. Harris says, "Did you hear of Zidane Iqbal, Pakistani football debut for Manchester United in Champions League? 18-year-old. I did not know that. That's crazy. That's awesome. Thank you, Harris. That's brilliant. Again, he's half Pakistani and half Iraqi. That's great. Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations to him and his family. Abdullah says, with the forecast prediction for the rest of the day, I'm surprised the ball isn't doing much now with the scattered clouds. Next two sessions will favor batting. Yes, they're going to try and bat as much as possible. As finally, domestic is back. Never had any since 2019, 2020 was too long. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. That's crazy. It'd be cool if had different coaches for different formats. That's an interesting approach. Do you know what? I don't think that's something I've seen. I've usually seen same coach, different captains, but different coaches and the same captain. That would be an interesting approach. Definitely be a very interesting approach. Jaden says West Indies would have qualified for that Women's World Cup, but I don't. Yeah, Pakistan's women's team isn't the greatest. Can't really argue that. Uh, it's not the best team around, but I get notifications on Instagram to say, oh, they almost won this match, or they played really well but they lost the match. So yeah, I can see, but it's good that there are quite a lot of teams around, which again I'll probably look into now that there's been so much talk today in the chat. I'll probably have to do a bit more research on women's cricket and hopefully see what I can understand. But yeah, thank you everyone for sharing those knowledge baskets, because it's always good to learn, and that's one of the big reasons why I love talking to the chat. It's crazy, it's awesome, and it's crazy at the same time. Harris says Adil, his dad is Pakistani and mom from Iraq. All right, cool, nice. Jaden says, yeah, I think I've read Jaden's comment. There we go. Adil says Jeff Hardy released. Yeah, that's just my reaction is absolute madness, my friend. Just because he walked out, his mental condition, all that stuff, right? I think whatever the decision is, I don't know what's happening in the background, but releasing Jeff Hardy, a veteran, is just unfortunate. Maybe it's the fact that he was like, I don't want to get treatment and all that stuff. But yeah, it is sad. It is sad in a way. And this is Robbie Savage's son. I mean, Randy Savage's son. Is that what you're talking about? Also debuted while Savage was on commentary team. On who's Robbie Savage on BT? I'm not sure who you're talking about. Please let me know, Adil. I'm actually not sure what you're talking about, but any clarity would be great clarity. Right, guys? So it's 367. 367 for 7. And Starc on 22, Head on 123. Ben Stokes got kind of injured yesterday and then came back in the end as well, which is good that he's on the field. He's moving about, which is exactly what you need. Robinson to Starc, full delivery. He pumps that one bounce to mid off, who also is Ben Stokes. Oh man, that was not very close. Even if he dove in front of him, it probably would have been difficult for Ben Stokes to take that catch. But Starc is doing a great job. Honestly, they're leading by 220 runs, guys. 220 runs are a lot of runs. And I hate the fact that the no balls weren't called yesterday. Someone was mentioning that I think Ricky Ponting, I saw something with Ricky Ponting. He mentioned, oh, there's the technology doesn't work. And I'm thinking, technology for no, like, can't the umpire just look at the no ball like the normal umpire on the on-field umpire look at the no ball and the third umpire just look at the no ball as well? What's the harm? You just have one more screen. Just look at that. Just keep looking at that screen the entire time. I don't fully understand, which is crazy, right? Which is madness. So yeah, it's really shocking. It's shocking to see this that the technology doesn't work and stuff. But hopefully, after this test, we won't have that issue because approximately 14 balls or 18 balls that he overstepped on. That is absolute madness. Thank you, Adil. A footballer. Okay. See, I didn't know. I didn't know. But thank you so much for letting me know. There's 30 in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Really love it. Right? If you like the video, it sends it to even more people. The more people join, then we have even more interesting discussions. I learn a lot. So absolutely love it. Thank you so much. 367 for 7. And ooh, oh my goodness, Robinson with an absolute peach, just at a good length, and Starc's huge gap between bat and pad, and goes past it. Oh, that was close, so close to the inside edge, so close to the inside edge. Where are we? Jaden says Virat Kohli and Pollard on the same level as captain. Yeah, man. Ibrahim says, do you think that WWE will add Lashley to WWE Championship match? I've got a feeling they will. I personally have a feeling they will. I really don't want that, but I think they definitely will. Renel says, rich board, and that happens. Strange. I know, right? Surprising to see that. Ibrahim says, yes, yesterday the umpire missed 14 no balls from Stokes. Crazy. That's a load of no balls. That's crazy. Humanity Lover says, your favorite player. My favorite player ever in cricket is probably Michael Bevan, then Shoaib Akhtar and MS Dhoni. I think those are my three. I always say those. I have a feeling I say those three all the time. So Michael Bevan is my favorite player, all-time favorite player in cricket. If I had to pick one, क्या खा रही? Okay, nothing. Right. Mark Wood has pace, which is what you do need, honestly. And I keep mentioning this, but just bowl a Yorker. Pull out a Yorker from somewhere, Wood. Just bowl a Yorker when Stark's on strike. You're going to get him. You're going to get him. Yes, you're going to use bounce. You can do this. You can do that. But just bowl a Yorker to frickin' Mitchell Starc. And he's going to get out. This time he bowls to head. Head plays that through backward point. Down to third man for a double. They get 2 runs there as well. That's very well placed. I generally thought that was going straight to third man, but that was very well placed by Head. He's doing a great job, Travis Head, so far. Cardell Williams, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining. Just realized that Head got his 100 in a session. Got his 100 in a session. Got his 100 in like 85, 86 deliveries. And the dude was on 14 of 21. And then he went ballistic because Jack Leach. Oh, Jack Leach has had a terrible game. He has an economy of what, like almost 9 in 11 overs. You don't see that from a spinner, right? Especially your frontline spinner. And Mark Wood bowls that down leg off his hip, tucks it away for a single down to fine leg. And Wood gets 3 deliveries at Starc. Just bowl him a Yorker. Just bowl him a Yorker, Wood. Just do it. Would do it? Would? Would he? I don't know. Let's hope he does. Let's really hope he does. Adil says crazy situation at Spurs, 16 members. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really sad. Nirek Dandanayak says opinions of Rishabh. Rishabh Pant is a fantastic batsman. He's very inconsistent. Can't really argue with that. But he's one of those guys who can potentially win you a game single-handedly with the bat. His wicket keeping has become so good compared to what it was just over a year ago. Edge through the gap between gully and slip, goes to the boundary. Starc gets another four. I'm going to come back to your point here, uh, uh, Nirek. Right. So Rishabh Pant, very good batsman, a very good keeper now, very good keeper. Thing is, his consistency is the issue, right? He just plays a certain way and he's not going to change that way, which is good. But sometimes he just needs to manage the way he plays a bit. Sometimes coming down the track and trying to smash someone down the ground is not the right approach. Sometimes you don't do that. Sometimes don't always think, oh, it's just attack, attack, attack. I've seen AB de Villiers play an innings like 40 of like 150, 200 balls or something. Even the greatest players need to play those types of innings. Okay. Rishabh Pant is a very, very good player. He's actually won India at least a couple of games in Test cricket over the last year. And in other formats, a lot of games for India, for DC, right? He's won them quite a few games. He just needs to be a bit more consistent. But I think Rishabh Pant's an absolute beast, man. He is so good. Jack Ronnie says, hi, everyone. Hello, Jack. Thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated. Abdullah says, how come Yasir Shah isn't on your top three? His batting is joy. His batting might be, but no way, man. My top three has been that top three since 2008. Before that, I think I had the top two remained the same, but then it kind of just readjusted just a little bit. Um, Ibrahim says, yeah, I also think Lashley will be added, but only so he can take the pin, so he can protect the other three. I think Owens is taking the pin. I've got a strong feeling Owens is taking the pin, and the title's going to remain with Big E. Let's Invest says Jack Leach Ball's left arm charity. Well, I love that Let's Invest talked about charity. That just worked quite well. Vidansh's World says, I'm going to the Ashes today at the Gabba. Vidansh, have a wonderful time, my friend. Have a wonderful time. Thank you for letting me know. Please do tell people. Oh my goodness, some people from prison in the crowd. Vidansh, enjoy yourself. Right, take pictures, video stuff, do all that good stuff. Wave at us if you can, okay? Put a sign up if you want. You don't have to, I'm just kidding. But do wave to the camera. That's pretty cool. Hope you enjoy yourself. Thanks so much for letting me know. Renell says, put pressure on the bowlers. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Jaden says, can't wait for 2024. The World Cup is coming to the Caribbean and USA. Hope the pandemic will be over by then. I hope so as well. I really hope so. Oh, I hope so. Adil says, Azjad, would you do a watch along for F1 Abu Dhabi? It's free to air on Sun UK channel 4 Hamilton. Right. I'll tell you the truth, Adil. On probably not on this channel. If I ever do something, I'll do it on Cricket and Wrestling for Us. But even then, I know zilch about F1. I know so little that you could tell me that, apart from, a good slower ball by Robinson. At least, see, a slower delivery, bowling a Yorker, great. Now like a full pace delivery, that's a Yorker to get Starc out is probably ideal, and that's what Wood should be doing, right? Around the wicket, right, slightly wide off the angle, bowling on middle and off, bowling bolted Yorkers, right? But that's not happening. That's not happening. But yeah, I'd love to, but I don't know enough, unfortunately. Analog TV. Ethan, hello. Thank you so much for joining, man. Jack says, England players lack first class matches and most of them are not fit enough to play Test cricket. Interesting. Right. I'm going to ask anyone who watches English cricket, what are your thoughts on Darren Stevens? Because people say he's the GOAT. People say he is someone that England should have definitely picked up sometime in the past, however long he's played, like 20 odd years or something. Do you think he was good enough? He has been good enough uh, for so long? Should he get a chance? Because what I've seen of England's domestic system, right? They do have some really good players, but the players in the Test team are what are some of the best, right? It's not that, oh, they picked someone who's mediocre or something. They are some of the best players they could possibly pick. There are some young players, right? I'm very surprised that Matt Parkinson, yes, he hasn't had the best red ball kind of career so far, But Matt Parkinson is a guy I would definitely bank on because Adil Rashid isn't going to play Test cricket. You need a leggy in your side. I would love to see Matt Parkinson play for England in Test cricket. That would have been a really good shout, a really interesting shout as well. But that would have been a really good shout. Personally, I think that should have been done from an English perspective. The first class format is great. First class format is great. Their county championship is very good. It's very watchable. But the thing is, even then, I do kind of understand where you're coming from. Starc with a fantastic drive, fantastic on drive down the ground. Starkey boy moves into the 30s. He is 31 of 56. I'm not going to say it right now. Okay, no, wait, I'll say it. Who thinks Starc is going to get his 50 before Head gets his 150? That's a good question. Who thinks so? That's crazy, man. Starc is doing all right. Starc is doing pretty all right so far. Ibrahim says, don't you think they'll protect Owens and present as a threat to dethrone Biggie so that no, I think Owens is out. I have a strong feeling Owens is going to AEW. Like very strong feeling that Owens is going to AEW, and that's one of the big reasons why he's gonna get the pin. He's gonna get the pin. Kiran Joshi says love from Nepal, brother. Well, thank you so much, Kiran. Much appreciated. Uh, Analog TV says I think Darren Stevens is very underrated. I made a whole video on how underrated he is and a great team leader. Do you think he should play for England? That's the question. Do you think he should be considered? Do you think players like that should be considered to play and debut, or not debut, but play the highest format Test cricket for England because they have been so good for so long? Ibrahim says Matt Parkinson is with England, Lions in Australia, so they can call him if they need to. Okay, now that's the good thing. If they do, I don't think if they need to. I think they need to right now. They should make that call and say, Parkinson, finish that game off. Come in. We need you for the second test. All right. I definitely think you talk about Dom Bess, talk about Jack Leach. Matt Parkinson offers you leg spin with variety, with the pace that he bowls. It's slower than you expect, but the thing is, he gets purchased and he has a killer googly. Dude is great. He needs to be in the England squad. It's shocking to me when he like why he isn't in the squad. It's shocking, honestly. Ben Stokes into the attack, by the way. 379 for 7 at the start of the 95th over. The lead extends to 232 for Australia. Abdullah says, I think Leach will be the first English cricketer to get a century in this series out of his bowling. Abdullah, I talked about this and I love that you mentioned this because Starc got one of the fastest 50s in this T20 World Cup, right? Uh, and by the way, just for anyone who's concerned, my daughter just clapped for the second time in her life just now. Head smashes that down the ground. Oh, Stokes dispatched for 6 runs. Where is the sixth one? Where is the six? Where is it? Do I not have a six? Yeah, I do. There we go. 6 runs. What a shot by Travis Head, man. What a fantastic shot. Ooh, Delali. Didn't expect that. Just smashed Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes does not look 100% fit, right? He does not look 100% fit. But that's pretty hilarious. Thanks, Abdullah. There's 50 in the chat. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and like. If you're not new to the channel, just like the video, leave a comment. Let's have a chat about cricket because goodness me, Australia is bossing it right now. Analog TV says Darren Stevens should be able to play for England. He's more than capable. If not England, then England Lions instead. Yeah, man. 100%. That is a shot and a half. Launch speed is only 114 kilometers per hour, but that's still, man. Look at that shot. That was outstandingly done. Because this is Stokes' first over back, right? Oh, he bowls short. Dispatched. But thankfully goes straight to Haseeb at square leg for a single. Starc is very handy. Chain Studios. He is very handy. The thing is, I haven't seen Starc play about a 50-60 strike rate too often. It's usually wham, bam, thank you, ma'am kind of thing, right? In terms of the way he bats. But today, and even yesterday, he's looked composed. He doesn't need to play that way, so he isn't. But when he can smash it like that on drive, that was beautiful. Let's see. 2 balls remaining of the 95th over. Stokes bowls short to Starc, and Starc defends it. Why are you bowling short? That 400 is loading. Adil, that 400 is definitely loading, my friend. Dion Parkhill says Matt Parkinson didn't even get a go over Best in the Lions versus Australia A game. Best did take 4 wickets though. I can say things about Dom Bess not being up to scratch. yet. But the way they've played Jack Leach, right? Let's see how best goes. Like how he goes in the nets as well, because that's the confidence, right? He plays well for the Lions, then they'll consider him. But dropping Leach after a game is going to be a surprise to me. Yes, I would bank on Parkinson. Come on, like that's just my train of thought. But England will stick with Leach for the next couple of games. They might consider Bess, but Leach is considered their frontline spinner. They're not going to go with Bess as their frontline spinner, especially after what happened after Sri Lanka. Ibrahim says Parkinson is not playing in the current game against Australia A, as England sent Dom Bess over to get game time. Abdullah says before that six, head strike rate was 100 for the first time in forever. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Ash Arlen Hill says, what do you think score will be in the series? I think 4-1. Ash, first of all, thank you so much for joining. If you're new, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. All I'm going to say is minimum 3-1, right? Minimum 3-1 to Australia. I got a feeling that there's going to be a draw somewhere in this series, right? But yes, Australia to win it 4-1 is very, very likely. You can't really argue that. But for me, 3-1 is what I predicted. I'm going to stick with my 3-1 prediction. Time is precious, says England will score 600 in second innings. Time is precious. Time is precious. And you know what? If England scores 600 in the second innings, I will lose my mind. I will do a dance. I will do a dance if England scores 600 in the second innings of this match, because England just haven't looked that great in that first innings, right? The pitch has flattened off. You can see there's not that much green on it right now. And Head is playing well. Starc is playing well. So England could potentially score 600, but seems unlikely, especially if Australia bat the entirety of this day. They're going to aim for just batting once. They don't want to bat again, right? That's the idea. Analog TV says even really casual fans were posting and talking about Travis Head's master innings. It was fantastic. Yeah, man, it was surprising in the sense that no one expected it. It wasn't the fact that he's not good enough. It's just the fact that no one expected it, apart from Aaron, the cricket connoisseur, because he was like, Head is good enough for number 5. Quadra needs to open with instead of Harris. And maybe that's the case. Maybe that's something that will happen. Travis Head to Gabe. You shut your mouth, cousin. Thanks, Let's Invest. That is hilarious. I love it. Adil, thank you very much, man. That's very kind of you to say. Very kind of you to say. A peach from Woakes. And Starc just plays all around it, but no edge. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like, comment, share, subscribe to Cricket for Us. And that's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adil. Very kind of you to say, man. Chain Studio says Pandya has the same impact for India as Stokes has for England. But what do you think is the reason for Stokes to have significant higher success rate than Pandya? Big thing is, and people might disagree with this, Stokes is a better batsman than Hardik Pandya. If you look at the way Stokes bats, you could say, oh, T20s, maybe it's similar. But overall, as a batsman, I give Ben Stokes a lot of credit, like a lot higher pedigree over someone like Hardik Pandya, unfortunately. Ben Stokes is a genuine all-rounder who, in my opinion, personally, is a better batsman than he is a bowler. But he is a genuine all-rounder. With Hardik Pandya, he does both things well. I don't know what he does better. I can't really see that much because he's not like I haven't seen him do brilliant things as many times as Ben Stokes. And on top of that, Ben Stokes has kind of gotten that aura now after the 2019 that, oh, he is that great. Maybe he hasn't performed as consistently since then, but he is very good. So for me, Ben Stokes is possibly a similar bowler, but a much better batsman than Hardik Pandya. And what a shot by Starc. Starc just pumping on the fours, man. What are you doing, man? That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Through mid-wicket. And another 4 to Starkey boy's name. Ash says Joe Root and Josh Buttler will score 100 in this game. Love to see it. Love to see a beautiful slower ball by Woakes. Starc almost drawn into that, but then moves his bat away. Starc moves on to 35. Guys, I'm going to put a poll up shortly. I think the previous poll is about to be ended from myself. Let me just see if there's a score that comes up. When that comes up, I will take a look at it and let you know what the score is, guys. And then I'm going to put a new poll up. And the new poll will be with regards to who gets the 50 first. Who gets a 50 first. Head gets 150. Oh, Starc dispatches Woakes as going up. And the commentator's curse gets him. Forget that poll that I was going to do. The commentator's curse gets Mitchell Starc. He smashes Chris Woakes. It's going up, 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 and not away because it goes straight into the hands of Haseeb Hameed at backward square leg. And Starc goes wicket to Christopher Henry Woakes. I don't think that's his middle name. I'm gonna go with Henry. But Chris Woakes gets the wicket. Really, really feel bad for Mitchell Starc because honestly, I thought he was going to get 50, but doesn't really. It's not Haseeb Hameed either. It's Rory Burns takes the catch. But honestly, Starc did his job. If Lyon comes in, Lyon just hangs in there and head keeps going on and on. Australia ideally would like 400 plus easy, right? They would like that. Let me see the poll results are. Australia get between 350 to 400, 38%, 400 to 450, 35%, and 450 plus is just 12%. So interesting to see that. We said, did you hear Pandya is contemplating retiring from Test cricket? Is it because of his back and his like injuries? Because to be honest, I get that. Like I got it when Amir retired from Test cricket because he was like, I fragility and all that stuff. I get it. If he gets injured, I completely understand. Kiran Joshi says, "Do you know about Nepal?" Of course I do. Nepal is great. I also know about one player from Nepal, Sandeep Lamachane. That's about it. But yeah, Nepal, great country. Let's invest it. Burns did something right. Yeah, after dropping that catch yesterday, man. What was it? Warner was on 47, 48, something like that. If he took that catch, the game would have been a completely different situation. Lyon comes out to bat 391 for 8 at the end of 96 overs. Stokes to continue. Ben Over says Pandya has become so casual in his attitude. That's why he's fell off. He's fell off. Doesn't have the same intensity he used to have. Yeah, completely agree with you there. Completely agree with you. What an irony. Starc, who bowled Burns first ball of the series. Burns gets Starc revenge. Interesting take that. I didn't really think of that, but that's a valid point. Very, very valid point there. Thanks, Adil. Thank you very much. For everyone watching, please do like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Really helps the channel, really pushes this video. We get more people in the chat. We get even more interesting discussions. Really loving this. Thank you so much, everyone who has joined us so far. Really, really loads of fun. 391 for 8. And we got Stokes. As I said, Stokes to continue. Is he going to go around the wicket? And do you know how Woakes got the wicket, by the way? He bowled Fuller. Just putting it out there. A short delivery. Oh, they took the slips out. They took the slips out. Oh my goodness. Took slips out and head edged that past the keeper for a single. Oh, I feel bad for Ben Stokes. I really hope it's not a no ball. Oh man, I feel bad for him. Oh goodness. That was a beautiful bouncer by Benjamin Stokes. That was an absolute peach of a delivery. Oh, draw. Oh, yeah. Straight into the hands of second or first slip that. Oh, goodness. I'm so sorry, Benjamin. I am so sorry. Frizzy says the longer Australia bats, the better for England to draw it. Fifth day rain. Even then, I think Australia ideally would have wanted to bat the entire day. But do you know what? I predicted Australia was going to get through the entirety of the first session. But 2 balls have made me rethink my entire decision. Change Studio says, great stuff, man. Love getting your thoughts on the stream. Oh, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Please like the stream, everyone. Let's invite more people and engage on the great channel. Thank you very much, Change Studios. That's very kind of you to say. Really appreciate it, as always. I always feel really shy when people say that. Thank you. 393 for 8. Lyon gets the run off his first ball. Ash says England need Anderson and Broad the next game. The thing with getting Anderson and Broad, again, I agree with you, but Robinson has bowled well. Wood has pace. Woakes just got the wicket, right? They're all great bowlers. I don't see England playing Broad and Anderson together in this series. I think it's going to be something that will be very, very surprising. Starc is smart. Starc is so smart. Did you see that? They didn't cross. Head pulls that away. Oh, just short of Haseeb Hameed. Thank you, the commentator, man. I didn't hear who it was, but all I heard was just short. So yeah, just short of Hameed. He just absolutely tries to wallop that over square leg and does not connect very well. Finally, Ben Stokes getting his line right with those bounces as well. Fuzzy says, end need to take it as England need to take it as warm-up practice and bat 2 days. Yep, that'll be nice. Is the wicket flatter now? It definitely is. Look at it. It's looking flatter, man. It definitely is. Humanity Lover says predict India versus South Africa result. Thing is, I think there's about 10, 11 days till that series begins, and South Africa is going to change some of their squad because they announced a 20-man squad, then they'll cut it down to 15, right? And I was speaking to Aaron, the cricket connoisseur, about this, and he was like, "It's going to be a really interesting series." And I'm going to predict again. People might disagree with me. I'm predicting a South African win. I don't see India winning, right? Let's put it this way. I'm not going to say South Africa win. I'm going to say it's a drawn series, it's a tied series, or South Africa wins the series. Those are my thoughts. In South Africa, I have that feeling, definitely, for sure, especially in oh, bouncer upon bouncer from Benjamin Stokes to Nathan Lyon, and Nathan Lyon tries to hook it both times, man. Tries to hook it every single time. So my prediction is not a win, not a series win for India. Um, Karen Joshi says, "Where are you from, brother? Australia?" No, I'm from England, but originally I'm from Pakistan. The 70 in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Really helps the channel. Really appreciate it. And so far, yes, Australia just lost Starc, but they have a lead of freaking 247. They're doing things right. Ryan Handy says, "Yo, what's up? I think they need Broad for Warner. They need Broad for sure." Thank you, Ryan. Thank you so much for joining. But they definitely need Broad because Warner, if he keeps batting like this, they're not gonna have Australia's gonna have a really good top order, right? Consistently good top order, and England's not gonna have a great day for like the first 40 overs of every innings. Abdullah says one thing about Burns: a wicket without scoring is called a duck. A wicket first ball called golden duck without facing a ball called a diamond duck. Continued. Right. Oh, okay. There we go. Abdullah says if you lose, where is it? If you lose your wicket after the first ball of an Ashes series, it should be called a vibranium duck. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm gonna start. If it's the, I'm gonna use it. Abdullah, I'm gonna credit you now. I'm gonna credit you almost every time. But I'm gonna call it a vibranium duck, 100%. Everyone says Anderson and Broad will be great with the pink ball under the lights in Adelaide. I think they should play the next game. Good to hear. Robinson gives me a very Chris Tremlett vibe. Hopefully, he can stay fit through his career. Yep, I hope he can as well. To me personally, he gives me an older version of Hazlewood, like from 2017, 2018, and Kyle Jamieson. He gives me those kind of vibes. But yeah, definitely not a bad shout. Predict who will win. Australia. Australia, my friend. Shubham says Ashwin playing since Jadeja is injured now. Yeah, man. I feel bad for Jadeja's injury. Um, but let's see. Ashwin's gonna do great. Ashwin always does well, doesn't he? It's again, like I said, I think India's not gonna win the series, but I want to be proven wrong because obviously I'm supporting India, right? I'm supporting India in South Africa. But objectively speaking, I have a feeling that India's not going to win the series. They might tie the series, but they're not going to win. Frizzy says Centurion will be a green top, bounce just like Gabba, but faster. Yep, that would be exactly what Centurion will be. Please, thank you, Renel, much appreciated. Humanity Lover says you're from Pakistan, so you said India is not winning. No, 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 Humanity Lover, that's not the reason. I'm trying to be as objective as possible because my two favorite teams are Pakistan and India. If you and again, if I think you are new to the channel, so I really appreciate you asking that question or mentioning that comment. But the thing is, yeah, my two favorite teams are Pakistan and India. So if Pakistan isn't playing, I'm supporting India. In South Africa, I'm supporting India. But objectively speaking, I think South Africa is going to win the series, or at least tie the series. Times Precious says Chris Woakes to Lyon. Lyon plays that to cover. That's not what Time is Precious says. I'm just describing what's happening on screen. Burns will redeem himself in the second innings. That would be great to see. That would be great to see. And this is one of the big reasons why I think South Africa is going to do well, because Olivier is back, right? Olivier is back. This guy, I remember him absolutely hammering Pakistan, right? Okay. He is so good. I don't even think he'll play, but if he plays, he is so darn talented. Definitely. Ibrahim says no, they're not going to cut it down the selected extra because Decock is not available. The second and third test because he's going away for the birth of his first child. Ooh, are they not cutting it? Interesting. Yeah, I'm still banking on South Africa. I'm still banking on South Africa. Abbas Rizvi says, "From which country are you?" I am originally from Pakistan, but I live in the UK. It's been over 20 years. Can't believe it's been over 20 years that I've been in this country. And we got 60 in the chat. Thank you everyone for joining. Please like, share, subscribe. I don't know why I'm saying it twice. Woakes to Lyon. Lyon leaves that one. Good call, my friend. Kropali says, "Did you expect Mitchell Starc to ball out Burns' first ball?" Nope. If you go back and see my reaction of the first ball of the match, right, it's about 10 minutes into it or something, 10, 12 minutes. I didn't expect it. I was losing my mind as well. I was like, what just happened here? It's shocking, man. Om Singh says Burns will score 100 in the second innings. I love the predictions. Loving the predictions indeed. If he does, that will be a surprise. That definitely be a surprise. Oh, Lyon plays that just wide of Chris Woakes' left hand. He puts his hand out, hits his hand, and goes out and goes to mid off after bouncing on multiple occasions. Unfortunately, those types of catches just stick or they don't stick. And this time, unfortunately, that catch did not stick. It just hit his fingers and just bounced away. But good attempt there. He put his hand on the line, to be honest. Nathan Lyon smiling away, smiling away. Chain Studio says, which has been your favorite Ashes series in recent past? That has to be gone. That has to be gone. Just review it, guys. Review it for the sake of it. Oh, they're not going to review it. Are they reviewing it? Just review it. Or has Ruth said no, they're not? Oh, they're not reviewing it. Oh, I don't know why I thought that was maybe gone. Maybe that was an inside edge. Oh, it's too high. Sorry. Yeah, that's too high. Good call, Root. Good call, every single person on the field. That was too high. My favorite Ashes series in the recent past. Okay, it's gonna sound really cheesy and really bad. 5-0 Australia versus England, 2006, 2007. Warren Gilchrist McGrath's final Ashes series in Australia. That was my favorite Ashes series out of the ones that I've watched. Okay. My first Ashes series that I watched properly was 2005, which was entertaining as anything. But my favorite has to be the 2006 2007 series because of the way Australia played, man. After losing in England and then having a stellar 2006 2007 Ashes, then winning the 2007 World Cup, I just think that series just cemented it for me. So yeah, that's my favorite Ashes series of recent times, if you want to put it that way. Uh, but in terms of the most recent memory, it's like in the past 3-4 years, it's 2019. It's Headingley 2019. Yes, I was supporting Australia. Of course, I was supporting Australia in that game because I was like Australia's gonna win, right? But the way Ben Stokes batted, the way Tim Payne made bad calls, right? Those last 20 overs or so were one of the best Ashes sessions, right, that I've seen in my lifetime. There've probably been greater ones, but one of the best in my opinion. 98.2 overs, gone 396 for 8. Lyon still out there, thankfully, from an Australian perspective. Everyone says Olivier has got 28 wickets. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. In four matches to start the season domestically, he had to play, of course, because he's outstanding. He's a beast. How many runs Root will score prediction? I'm going to predict Root scores 46 runs. I think he's going to score 46 runs. Gerard van der Schiff. I hope I pronounced that right. What's your thoughts on the India tour to South Africa? I'm really happy about it. I think India playing in South Africa would be great. Again, I'm supporting India, but I think South Africa will win. At the same time, if India wins in South Africa, then they pretty much won. They pretty much won all the away games that you'd usually expect them not to win, right? Series especially. And this Indian team is so stacked. Even if they replace players, even if they don't play their best of the best teams, they're still so darn good, right? So I'm very happy about this tour going ahead. It's unfortunately about the global pandemic situation. It's really sad and everything, but I hope they play because South Africa India series is gonna be absolutely stellar, man. Especially with Olivier back from a South African perspective. You know, waiting for Virat Kohli to get his 100 back as well. So I'm very excited about it. Nathan Lyon Left leg out of the way, spanks Ben Stokes through mid wicket. That's 4 runs, and Australia get to 400. Woo! Australia get to 400. Oh, that is beautiful. Let me get Billy on screen. Here's Billy for you. 400 for 8. Well done, Australia. Especially Nathan Lyon. That was dispatched by Nathan Lyon. Abdullah said, just listen to Simon Toffel on the no balls. He mentioned that most seamers now have a side on action, make it hard for the on field umpires to check. Interesting. Oh, that's a nice way. That's great. Simon Toffel, in my opinion, the best umpire ever. Simon Toffel, hands down, the best umpire I've seen in my life. Oh my goodness. Adil predicts Hameed will score 70 runs. England will be back in the second innings. Woakes Robinson will get England to a 1-0 lead. Come on, England. Adil, I love the optimism. I don't expect it, but I love it. Who is your favorite bowler or batsman in the Ashes? Favorite batsman? Stephen Smith. Favorite bowler? Um, it's a hard one personally, because it's a toss up between Pat Cummins and Jimmy Anderson for me. I could have said Mitchell Starc, but for me, Pat Cummins is probably my favorite Ashes bowler in this particular series. But if you were talking like all time Ashes, right? I gotta say, like I said, uh, Shane Warne. Like Shane Warne is my favorite. It used to be Glenn McGrath for the longest time, but when I started to see Warne a lot more, I was like, dude, especially in the Ashes, he's just a beast apart. So yeah, Shane Warne for me. Um, in terms of bowlers and in terms of batsmen, uh, I gotta say, I was very impressed with the way Alistair Cook has played. Must say, like Alistair Cook in the Ashes has been great, hasn't he? Um, and also, I got to talk about Ricky Ponting. I know Ricky Ponting, Steve Waugh. Oh, Steve Waugh. I got to talk about Steve Waugh. See, there's so many batsmen, but bowlers I can like pick one or two. But batsman wise, Steve Waugh just up there for me. Um, Let's Invest says, is Headingley your home test ground? Yes, it is. Well done. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. If I had to, the closest international stadium to me is Headingley. Analog TV says 2019 Ashes was close, fantastic, and I have so many memories watching it. It was one of my favorites. Also, nice one. Thanks. Kripali says, predict how many runs will David Warner score? I think Warner's gonna get like 10 if Ben Stokes doesn't get a no ball. But if he does, then yeah, Warner might get 100 in the second innings. If they bat a second innings, you know. Ibrahim says, I think South Africa bowling attack for the first test, Rabada, Norkia, Olivier, Mulder, and Maharaj. I can't disagree with you. I think that's probably going to be their squad. Probably going to be their squad. Richard Andrews says the only chance England winning the Ashes is playing on Big Ant Cricket 2022, which is on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. Richard, I agree with you. That is so true. That game, yes, it has a few glitches right now, and hopefully they fix it in the bugs. They fix it in the next patch and stuff. But that game, to me, is amazing. I love that game. Absolutely love that game. Chain Studios says it's very odd to see such a high run rate as compared to the last series versus Australia. That's why we watched in Australia. We watched in Australia. Yeah, man, I know, right? It's a above a four run rate is something that you can't say you can't count down, right? The funny thing is, it's 100 overs and they got 403, right? 100 overs, less than 100 overs. So this is fantastic. The way Head played, still Head strike rate, it's still above 100. Outstanding, man. Outstanding. Ryan says Devon Conway, most underrated batsman. Devon Conway is underrated. I don't. I think it's unfortunate from a South African perspective. He didn't play for South Africa, but he's doing great things, and he's injured right now. I hope he comes back into healthiness, and then he can play because Devon Conway is a beast, man. He is so good. Ibrahim says this is the only overseas country that India has won a Test series in. They have won in Australia, New Zealand, and England. They haven't, right? That's what you're saying, right? They haven't won in South Africa. That's exactly what I was saying. So they haven't won in South Africa. That's why, if they do, that would be just up there, right? As achievement wise. Also, there's 100 people in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Please like, share, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Really, really helps the channel. I'm dumbfounded right now. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. A beautiful fuller delivery from Woakes, but well driven straight to the fielder for a dot from Mr. Nathan Lyon. Ryan Handy says, yeah, I've read that one. Krikazi. By the way, please do check out the Krikazi Diaries YouTube channel. Great channel. I'm not just saying it because I've been on it a few times. It's just he has really good insights. He has really good conversational style. So please do check him out if you get a chance. I would go with Rudy Kurtzen as the best umpire of all time. Ugh. Also, I thought Stokes had injured his knee. Why are they bowling him? He injured his knee earlier on in the day, but at the latter stages, I think he came back and he bowled a few more overs. They need him. That's the thing. Stokes is needed for them. They require that fourth pacer because they can't keep bowling Woakes and Robinson, no, Woakes, Robinson, and Wood. They need that third pacer, and they're trying to hold off Leach as much as possible, especially considering the ball is still 20 overs old. Krabala says, "Do you think England can chase down 400?" I'm going to be honest. I don't think so. I think England can chase down 250. They can chase down 280. 400 seems unlikely. Analog TV says Simon Towell is currently a commentator for Channel 7 and he offers all the umpiring opinions. It is awesome. I love it, man. I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for letting me know. It's pathetic how they don't check for no balls till there is a wicket. Yeah, disappointing. Tyrell, how you doing, man? Tyrell, great channel as well. All of these guys, you guys are awesome. Thank you, everyone who's joined us. This is fantastic. Thank you so much. If you haven't done so, again, I keep saying it. I'm sorry. I sound like a broken record, but if you like the video, it sends it to more people and it grows the channel. And then we have even more discussions, which is just great. So thank you so much, everyone who's joined us. Really, really appreciate it. With Australia on the charge, two predictions. I have 3-1 for the Aussies or a baggy greenwash. Ooh, I think 3-1. For me, 3-1. I think I've picked the 3-1 consistently. Everyone says I meant to say the only country that India hasn't won. Yeah, I thought so. I thought so. Chal re. Paid video says. Okay, cool. Muhammad Khalandar Amiri says, "Have you forgotten Monty Panesar and Saj Mahmood? At least they should have included Jofra and Mills." Funny thing is, Jofra's injured, and Mills can't bowl more than like 5 overs, four overs or something. That's the reason why he doesn't play, man. That's the big reason why. Oh, are you talking about Ashes bowlers? If that's who you're talking about. I can't remember. I don't know which point you're making with regards to that, Mohammed. But if you're talking about Ashes, nah, I can't. I don't think Monty for me personally. I have spoken to him though. I have spoken to Monty Panesar. Really good guy. Really good. Like he has some really interesting insights. But I wouldn't put him as my favorite Ashes bowler, unfortunately. But yeah, Mills and Jofra unfortunately can't play in this Ashes series. But Jofra is a beast. Jofra is a beast, no doubt about that. Richard Andrews says one reason Test finished so early, more results, is partly due to T20 batsmen playing more aggressively, scoring quickly, but also losing more wickets by doing this. Big guy I want to mention, Rishabh Pant, man. Yes, he scored some really good, important innings. But he just didn't know when to stop. Okay, it's a Test match. It's not a T20 game. Oh man. Deal says India versus South Africa start 26th December, week later than scheduled. Yeah, but it is going to be a Boxing Day test match, so it'll have a few eyes on that. Abdullah says they can chase 400. Question is, can they build a lead from that? Ooh, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. Definitely. Thank you everyone for joining. By the way, really appreciate it. Much, much appreciated as always. Everyone says I would like to point out that Conway spent most of the time playing second 11 cricket when he was in South Africa, as David Miller beat him to cementing a spot in the first team. Oh, interesting. Thanks. Like I said, I didn't know this, so always love learning more new things. Wood bowling quickish, just on the hip to Travis Head, and Head is like, I'm just gonna try and smash everything on my hip, on my leg side. I don't know why he's doing this. He doesn't need to do this, but maybe he's just losing his. He's like, I give up. Right? Daryl Hare, best umpire. Just ask Morley. I knew someone would say Daryl Hare. Do you think Travis Head can reach 150 runs? Kripali, I think he can, but he's trying not to. The way he's batting, he's definitely trying not to. Do you think that Joe Root can get a century or maybe in this game? It'll be difficult, but if the pitch keeps degrading as it has, he might do. If he comes out to bat, he might get a double hundred. He might get 100. Double hundred might be difficult. Because he says, you reckon Travis Head has ended? Nope, not at all. Not at all, Behram. Because if they play Khwaja, they're going to open with him. They're not going to bat him at 5. Because Khwaja's best results, even in domestic, have been opening or batting at 3, if I'm not wrong. And correct me if I am wrong, please. Right? So he comes in as an opener if he does come in, which he should. Which he should. I do feel there's a possibility he could replace. Exactly. Yeah. 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 That's what a lot of people have talked about for sure. Richard Andrews, thank you for the insight, by the way, from an Australian perspective. Really appreciate it. Let's hope India have another test in Dharmashala next year. I wish they play more Test cricket. So much better than T20. It's called Test cricket for a reason and is more difficult to play. I agree with you. Great pull shot from Nathan Lyon, and he gets a couple of runs. He gets a couple of runs. That's good. Good hit there. Oh, not couple. He gets 3 runs. Good job. Nathan Lyon moves on to 10 runs. And Mr. Travis Head moves on to 139. Good man. Good man indeed. I wish Test cricket was the majority cricket throughout the year. But the thing is that that's not going to happen. Even if every team was the best, every team was great, even if it was always India versus Australia, or let's, for the sake of argument, assume India versus Pakistan, and Pakistan was the best team in the world, right? And India was the best team in the world as well, and they played like 5 match test series. Even then, I don't see Test cricket being the most played Test series. Oh my goodness, Travis Head just did something that I was like, why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? He's like, Asta, just hear me out. If Wood is going to bowl on my pads, I'm going to flick him for 6. You know what he's just done? He's freaking flicked him for 6 over backward square leg. What a shot. What a 6 by Travis Head. Great. Fantastic, Travis. Fantastic. Abdullah says, I'm so happy that the dark mode score banner is gone from the screen. Hated it. I'm sorry. I only kept it white because of the ashes. Otherwise, I was going to put it back to black. But thanks. Thank you. Or do you mean like at the bottom of the screen of the actual match? If that's what you're talking about, then fair enough. Fair enough. Love from Nepal. Thank you, Pavan. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Kapali said, do you remember when Steve Smith got hit on the head? Yes. Yeah. Where, yeah, I was following that one. Yeah, it was really sad because like Steve Smith was on a tear. Then Labuschagne came. Labuschagne also was on a tear. So it was great to see Labuschagne play, but I really wanted Smith to have a fantastic series that one because he was definitely on a roll. Adil says England bring Ollie back into the attack. 2 quick wickets. Robinson can get them 2 wickets. Go on Janeo Toki Victor Toko. I'm so confused. So confused. Krikazi says, for some reason, I have never been sold to Mark Wood. His action alone gives me the creeps. Ren says, Miller and Conway were being used as a wicketkeeper batsman. Okay, but for a full game, just for certain periods, as the first choice keeper was also a good leg spinner. So they used him as a bowler as well. Wow, fantastic. Didn't know about that. Santi Miller says, um, tell about Warner comeback. Comeback? I don't understand what you mean by. I I don't think it's a comeback of sorts. It's basically he's just come back into form, and what he's done is just play well. But he got like 3 chances minimum. He got like 3 chances yesterday. But Warner's doing well, man. Warner batted well as well. When he played aggressive shots, he looked confident. It was just unfortunate that he got out on that ball because I know Shane Warne said, "Oh, he's so close to 100," and he got out straight away. It's unfortunate. Alhamdulillah, right? I said, no, no. Oh, okay. The one from the match. Oh, appreciate it. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I usually like dark scorecards personally, but it is good that they're changing things up. That's great to see. Pawan says Nepali leggy Sandeep Lamachani playing in the Big Bash. Of course he is. He's a beast. I am from India. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me from India. Kripala says, if you won the toss at Brisbane, would you bat or bowl and why? Okay. I remember saying 2 days ago, it's a green pitch, but history dictates that, oh, it's better to bat first. So I would have batted first because of the history, because the fact that the pitch was going to deteriorate. And we saw that it wasn't the fact that it was the pitch causing the large amount of issues. It was the fact that the English batsmen found it more difficult. And every Australian to speak to said it looked like a proper Gabba first day pitch. Not looked, played like a proper Gabba first day pitch. So my take is you bat first. Again, I'm gonna stick with that. Krikazi says, so who does Broad replace in the second test? Surprised he hasn't tweeted yet. I don't see Leach being replaced. I don't see Robinson being replaced. Maybe Wood, but Wood's the only 90 mile an hour bowler they have, right? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. I would never drop Woakes, okay, because he offers a bit with the bat as well. So I think I would actually go wild. I'll actually go drop Wood and bring in Broad and Jack Leach into the attack. By the way, guys. Shubham says, wow, so many views from Nepal. Hope they make it like Afghanistan. Yeah, man, of course, definitely. Thank you, everyone who has joined us, by the way. Thank you, Shubham, for that comment. Really appreciate it. Everyone who's joined us, please like, share, subscribe. Really appreciate it. Enjoying myself like crazy. Loving the chat so far. Loving the game as well. Thank you so much for joining. Krikazi says, given that Warner got 3 lives yesterday, can we safely say he is part kitten? You know what? That's pretty funny. I love it. Absolutely love that. TV says, as an Australian fan, I'm really enjoying this match. I'm doing a radio show this Saturday. Congratulations. Hope you have fun on community radio, which will be songs from the 60s to now, but I will give a couple of Ashes updates. I love it. Well done. Best of luck. Best of luck, Ethan. That is great, man. Because everyone is following the Ashes this year, it is going to grow Test cricket. I hope so. I really hope so. It's Test cricket is huge, especially the Ashes. It's absolutely huge in England and in Australia. So it's great. Great job, Ethan. Send me the link on Instagram or something. I would love to hear it on Saturday. Would love to. Honestly, would love to. Sudhanshu Kumar says Warner is the luckiest cricketer on earth. Are you from Australia? Pawan, I am not from Australia. I am from England. I live in England. Been living in England for over 20 years. But yeah, I'm still backing on Australia though. Abdullah says Stokes is the luckiest, got away with 14 no balls in 4 overs. Yeah, that I've never seen that. I have never seen that ever. Like missed so many. Like it reminds me of the days of where home umpires will not give no balls and like yeah you know what I mean. You know what I mean. All the controversial stuff from back in the day. Les Invest says difference between England and Australian batting is great question. England one thing, spinner. Australia, as soon as I speak of it, Travis it comes down the track, but at least it hits to the fielder. Australia attacked the spinners. Australia took their time. Hameed took his time. It's not just about the batting, it's also the fact the bowling, right? The way Australia bowled was very good. It was tight, it was quick, it was exactly what they needed on this track. England lost 3, 4 quick wickets in the first session, right? It's hard to come back from that. Those those types of things are one of the big differences with regards to the batting. But what Australia has done, they had a very good second wicket partnership. Then they had a very good partnership between Head and whoever comes out to bat. Okay, so Head's been instrumental. He is at the moment on 146, maybe running to 147. He moves to 147. So sorry, 146. I'm wrong. 146. So Travis Head is definitely one of the biggest pluses from an Australian standpoint so far. Steve Smith is the best. Yeah, he's very, very good. Dorothy says, Voy, FYI. Well, thank you. I don't know what Voy means, but thank you for commenting. Kripali says, did you think that the pitch at Brisbane would swing? And also, did you think that they should have sent Pat Cummins to ball first? I had a feeling that I thought they would send Pat Cummins would ball first. The thing is, everyone corrected me. Starc usually opens the bowling with Hazlewood. So I was like, all right, fair enough. I got to believe what the chat usually tells me because my memory is good. It's not the best, so I forget a lot of things. So for that reason, um, Starc and Hazelwood were the right choice to open the bowling. Um, the thing is, I expect the ball to do what it did. It didn't spin miles. It didn't turn miles. It didn't seem like crazy. There were some deliveries, not consistently, but some deliveries, like the one that got. Oh, who did Hazelwood get out? Was it Malan? I think it was Malan. The wicket he got off Malan. That seemed like about 6 inches, which is loads. Which seemed like loads as well. So I don't think it was a consistent thing. Oh, Oh, bounces a couple of times. Too fine leg. So Travis Head doesn't get out. But yeah, he moves on to 147. Um, So yeah, those are my thoughts, Kripali. I hope that makes sense. I just realized, as Abdullah said, they removed the thing from the bottom and put it on the top left like they used to back in the day. You watched Hawkeye? Yes, I did. I did watch Hawkeye, Harris. I have done. I don't watch Formula One, unfortunately. Sports Live says, "Hi, how are you? I'm well. I'm well." Sports Live, thank you so much for joining. Much appreciated, my friend. Ibrahim says Miller and Conway both started playing for Dolphins in Durban. After missing out to Miller, Conway moved to Johannesburg, and that's when Miller got called up to South Africa. Conway already left. Ah, okay, fair enough. Makes sense. What were you felling when felling when England won? What was that feeling when England won against us? My feeling was, what just happened here? Because I expected Australia to actually, yes, England was the best team at the time, and so was New Zealand, and those were the two right teams. Oh, top edge from Lyon goes over the keeper, and that's gone for four. Oh, Wood with his pace. They're not showing the speed counter. What is happening? What is happening? They're not showing how quick he's bowling. It's really bugging me. Really, really bugging me. I was a bit upset, but the thing is, England was the better team in that World Cup. Where are you? I am in my living room watching the Ashes in England. I hope if that's what you're asking. Krikazi says, has the wicket eased out? Can we expect England? I think England will do better with the bat. Top edge going up, 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 and taken. Thank God. A wicket for Mark Wood. This guy would get a wicket, and he did, and he got a wicket of Nathan Lyon, top edge, caught by the what is it? The fielder in the inner circle. At short mid wicket, if you can call him that. Yeah, at short mid wicket. I think the pitch has definitely eased, but we've seen the bouncer be effective, and it is. It's being effective here a couple of times now. Everybody says Conway was just unlucky as he moved. Yeah, I agree. He was unlucky because I'd heard of him when he was in South Africa, but then I saw him in just once, not many times, just once. And then I saw him in New Zealand, domestic. He was amazing, and then he moved up to New Zealand, and he is a great player. And Nathan Lyon, 15 of 24, did exactly what he needed to. Exactly what he needed to. Sudhanshu says Warner got out on no ball 6 times, and he got on to make 100 every time except this time because Warren commentator curse. Yeah, man, that's hilarious. Lion slogging masterclass indeed. That's me. That's me batting, by the way. Who's on commentary team for Pakistan versus West Indies? I don't actually know, Adil. It has to be Bazit. I think Bazit Khan's going to be in there. The new Sikandar Bakht is going to be there. And the rest, I'm not really sure. Thanks for asking that question, though. Nasrullah says, who do you think will Pakistan and West Indies series? Who will win Pakistan and West Indies series from 13th December? Like I said before, I think West Indies will play really well, and I've got a feeling that Pakistan will lose at least one game. But I've got a stronger feeling that Pakistan are going to try and win the series. Right? Pakistan are going to be very, very on point with regards to that. Just bowl a Yorker. What is wrong? Just bowl a Yorker. Get him on the toes. Get him LBW. Get him bowled and get him out. And I'm an Australian supporter in this game, and I'm like, do this, do that. Come on, Wood. You're better than this. Yes, you just got a wicket from a bouncer, but change it up, man. Don't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Kripali says, do you think they should have? Yeah, I think they made the right call. Tim Payne dropped himself, then took a leave. They had to pick someone else. I really wanted Josh Inglis. Personally, I wanted Josh Inglis. But Alex Carey, he was in the squad. He's been playing quite a lot. He is very good as well. He's more experienced, etc. So Alex Carey, not a bad shout at all. Nasrullah says, "Bro, aap Pakistan se ho kya?" Yes, yes, I'm from Pakistan. Kropali says, who are you supporting in the Australia versus Pakistan Test match? The Test match, I'm supporting Pakistan in the Australia Pakistan Test matches. Any Pakistan match, I'm supporting Pakistan. Not changing. Minecraft Implosion says, why has the graphic gone off the main feed? I don't understand. I think they just put it on the side because there are technical issues. Because if they can't do like loads of things, it just doesn't make sense, does it? It's really weird. That's why I'm like, I wanted to see the speed of the ball, but nope, not showing up. Not showing up at all. Ibrahim says, so Conway moving away, I can understand as he was not can opportunity not going to get an opportunity to play in the first team in South Africa. Plus, he was very inconsistent. He only started scoring. This is a funny thing. I'd heard of him in South Africa, but I didn't hear about him doing great. I just heard of him. In New Zealand is where obviously he started to play fantastically well and built his game from there. Beautiful Yorker. Thank goodness, Wood. Just do another one. Do another Yorker. Bowl another one. Just do it. Just do it, man. Just do it. That's what you need to do. Goodness me, this is crazy. Ryan says, why are you supporting Australia? There are two stories. There's a long story, which will take really, really long, and I'll try and cut it down as short as I possibly can. So when I was younger, it's not a logical reason at all. It's an emotional reason. When I was younger, Australia was my favorite team. And Australia thrashed Pakistan in the '99 World Cup. And I was like, "Ugh, I'm not a huge fan of you anymore, but I will still support you." And then I was supporting Australia in the 2005 Ashes. And England just played magnificently in that Ashes series, right? And I was like, damn, man, this is just crazy. And that's when I decided, I was like, I need to pick one side whenever it comes to the Ashes. And the players I liked back in the day, more players played for Australia. So I picked Australia as the team, and that's why I've just stuck with them. I've stuck with Australia. That's the real reason. Um, and that's a very shortened version, which just now doesn't sound like a very long version at all either. Um, but yeah, that's the real reason, to be honest. And I hope that makes sense to yourself. Pawan says, "Oh, you are Pakistan." Yes, originally, yes, I'm from Pakistan. Divya says, "Where are you from in England?" I am from the northeast of England. I am in a town. Oh, beautiful sweep shot by Travis Head. He gets to 150. Yeah, beauty. Well done. Well done, you mustache master, as some people have called him over the past couple of days. The mustache master, sorry, smashes it for four. Sweep shot to Jack Leach. Who else but Jack Leach to get hit for runs and get hit for 100 runs in 12 overs? Crazy, absolute madness. An economy of 8.3 in a test match. That's not the best in a T20 game, goodness me. Head on 151. Australia 424 for 9. Whew, Delali. Yeah, so there's a town called Scunthorpe. I live around there. Kropali says, do you think Australia can reach 500 runs? Nope. I don't think Australia is getting 500 now. I think 450, around 450 is probably what they're looking at, probably what they're going to get. Rate Fox Cricket's coverage on a scale of 1 to 10. 6, 7, 6, 6.5, something like that. I liked some of the graphics, of course, but it just doesn't look the great. It does. Again, I'm watching on BT Sports, so I can only tell you what I can see. But technical issues, and I liked the banner at the bottom initially, but that little thing at the top is not giving me enough of an insight. I have to use quick info on the right hand side to remember each person's score. It's not the greatest. -3. Thanks, Abdullah. Really appreciate that. Adil says, Azjad, yo, are Alexa Bliss fan? If yes, good news. Alexa might be back for the Rumble. Got Drew winning, and for women's Alexa if she's in it. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I'm not really an Alexa Bliss fan at all, but that's great. If she comes back, that'll be good for her. Were they cheering for heads pound 50 or Leach's 100? That's exactly what I was thinking, man. Rate Mitchell Stark's first ball, 1 out of 10. Ooh, 1 to 10, sorry. I'd say like 8.5. That's a strong 8.5 delivery. In terms of planning, that was a 10 on 10. But in terms of the actual delivery they bowled and the delivery that, like that entire scene, I would say a solid 8.5, 100%. I've read that one. Ibrahim says, did you hear Williamson will be out injured? Yep, I did. For a while, he might be ready by the New Zealand South Africa series in February. But the New Zealand coach said they would monitor his progress as they decided that he does need surgery. I hope he recovers, man, because Kane Williamson is absolute class. Uh, Nasrullah says, did you watch? So I've seen like 2 episodes or 3 episodes of The Grill. My dad and my mom watched uh, season and a half or 2 seasons, and then they realized this is too much of their time being wasted, so they didn't. My sister-in-law and brother have watched quite a lot. I think they've seen like 3 seasons at least or something. But no, I don't watch it properly. I watched like 2-3 episodes a couple of years ago. Kripali says, do you think Australia? I think Australia will win 3-1, but if England doesn't win in Adelaide, then I think there is a contention of a 4-0, 5-0 kind of victory from an Australian perspective. Everyone says they decided he will not go for surgery to fix the problem. Okay. So what is the problem exactly? Because does it need surgery or do they just want to use rehab because they're scared that the injury will cause issues to his game? Like I'm not entirely sure the reason why you wouldn't go for surgery if you do need to. But thanks for sharing, Ibrahim. Thank you everyone who's joined us. 17 in the chat. Thank you so much. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If you're watching me on Twitch, then like the page. I don't know how Twitch works, unfortunately, but do like the page. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Right? But yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone who has joined us. 425 for 9 at the end of 104 overs. What's going to happen? That's what's going to happen. Let's see. I'm going to see if CFA are streaming. I've got a feeling they might be. And if they are, I don't want to overstep on their toes, you know. But let me Google cricket for Americans. They are not streaming, which is perfect for me because then I can continue for the rest of this session. Oh, if not session, rest of the half hour, as long as my battery lasts, because I have about 36%. So hopefully that lasts me. Kripali says, "Do you think the Ashes should have been played?" No, no. I think Australia made sense. The last Ashes was in England. Australia makes sense. Yes, there is a pandemic situation, but they've seemed to kind of work out a way to try and contain it, which is good. Which is good. Adil says, "Fatal four way at WrestleMania: Drew, Brock, Lashley, and KO or Seth." Oh, I don't see that. Adil, if that happens, I'll be super surprised. Is that elbow problem which is causing him discomfort while batting? Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Guys, let's see if Australia lasts longer than your battery. Baran, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Exactly what I'm thinking. If my battery lasts longer, that'll be great. Because then I can at least hang around for the end of the innings, right? That'll be good. Oh, head master general Hameed drops it. Hameed drops it. He ran loads. He ran freaking miles, and then he drops it. Haseeb Hameed has had a horrible fielding time, man. Again, Head is not gonna pass away a ball on leg stump. He's like, I'm gonna just smash every ball on leg stump. It was in his right hand as well, and then it came out. Oh man, I feel bad for Hameed. That was a difficult chance, but goodness me. Sudhanshu says this is the last match of Jack Leach career. Happy retirement. And there we have it. What does he do? What does Mark Wood do to get that wicket, guys? Please tell me. Please tell me. He bowls a Yorker. He bowls a Yorker. Australia get 425 runs. 425 all out. Travis Head with a fantastic 152. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Goodness me. Fantastic. Fantastic Yorker from Marcus Wood. Middle stump, gone, head goes, and that's what he needed to do. That's exactly what he needed to do before. But he wasn't doing it. That's what bugged the out me, right? He wasn't doing it. Oh man, 425, guys. 425. Fantastic knock. As now he's having an interview. So hopefully, if you can listen, please do let me know what he's saying. But he has played a really good knock. Do you do this for the IPL? Yes, I do. Yes, I do this for the IPL. If you scroll down a really long way, you'll get a lot of my streams. I didn't do much of the second leg, the UAE leg, but I did a lot of IPL 2020 and the first leg of the IPL 2021. So do check that out if you're interested. Abdullah says, did the English team appreciate Heads 100 and 150? I didn't notice any. No, they didn't. They did not. Hameed and Burns are having one hell of a game. Yeah, not the best, are they? Listen, okay, good to see them do it now. Yeah, they finally did at the end. We said, did you hear Jadeja earliest return from injuries just before IPL? It is a concern because they retained him for 16 crores. Yeah, man, that's really disappointing. Right now, I say this all the time. Ravi Jadeja is one of my favorite players who is playing right now. Okay, in my top five. Yeah, I think he's in my top five of my favorite players who are playing currently. it's really sad to see him not available for so long. Mugda says that mustache is disturbing. It is disturbing, but the thing is, Mitchell Johnson did it and he played really well in the national series. So maybe it's just a trend. You have a mustache, play well for Australia. Adil said Haseeb and Burns swap position for fielding. Dr. Jihan in the house. Thank you, Jihan, for joining. Thank you, everyone who joined us. 78 people in the chat. Much appreciated. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't done so already, really, really helps the channel. Also, Robinson with 3 wickets, Wood with 3 wickets, freaking Woakes with 2 wickets, Leach with 1, Root with 1, and Stokes with none. Heads innings was a game-changing, match-winning innings. Yep, completely agree with you. Quickly go through. He ended his innings as well, right? On a strike rate of above 100. That tells you how dominant he was. Also, for anyone who wants to makes this joke, Head scored 5 more runs than England in this match so far. Just thought I'd put out there. Head scored 152. England were all out for 147. Head was great. Head was great. Again, like I said, I'm going to hang out for at least a little more time, at least like 10-15 minutes. But then I'll see if CFA are streaming, and then I'll probably go off and just join them in the chat. But honestly, guys, it's crazy. It's fantastic to see the crowd in terms of the actual crowd and the people who are watching me today. It's crazy. Like I've got 80 people in the chat right now, which is just outstanding. Please like the video if you're new to the channel. If you like the content, do subscribe. If you don't like the content, then just comment. Just tell me you don't like me. All right, I'm okay with that as long as you share your thoughts. Love to hear them. Let's go through some of the comments right here. Abdullah says, I predict 2 quick wickets before lunch. Hazlewood is the bowler. I predict 1 wicket, and it's probably Haseeb Hameed. And I give the wicket to Pat Cummins. Krikazi says England trail ahead by 5. Yep. Thanks, man. Mustache luck for Travis. Game over today, you think? I don't think the game's over today. I think the game over might not happen till tomorrow. But yeah, so far, yeah, they lead by 278. It's very difficult for England to come back into it, let alone think about a victory. I think the best England can hope for is a draw, because I've heard day 5 is going to rain quite a bit. Ibrahim says also BCCI statement release say Jadeja and Aksar have similar injuries, which means both won't be available for Sri Lanka Test Series, which is their next Test Series after South Africa. So who does India go with? They go with Ashwin and I can't. This is how tired I am, and I'm really sorry about this, guys. Anyone who knows, please let me know who can the second potential spinner be for India against South Africa. I don't see India going in with 2 spinners. Probably going to go with 3 seamers minimum and Ashwin. But who do you think would be the second spinner if they had to pick one, considering there's no Aksar or uh, or Jadeja? The funny thing is, I just read from Adil here, Ashwin and Jayant. Jayant Yadav did have a pretty good game in that second innings. He took 4 wickets. Divya says Washington Sundar. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Yeah, do share. Do let me know. But that's crazy. That's great. Ashwin and Jayant Yadav are the 2 in the squad. So yeah, okay. In that case, it has to be those 2, doesn't it? The mustache was for the Movember charity. They have it, but Movember is just November, guys. Ibrahim, they have the same thing in England. But after the 30th of November, on the 1st of December, they're usually clean shaved. So the Hanshu says Starc took a wicket on the first ball against India series. Also, just saying, yeah, that's true. Starc is great. India can go with Ajaz Patel. Heard he's a decent bowler. Yeah, he gets 10 wickets on the trot, doesn't he? Krikazi says keep and open with KL and play Aksar is injured, from what I understand as well. Aksar is injured. Sudhanshu says Jayant Yadav is already selected for the South African tour. Amit Moria says King will score century. If you're talking about King Kohli, I hope he does. I have not seen a Virat Kohli 100 since I started the channel. CFA have not seen a Virat Kohli 100 live from what I remember. Okay, I want to see a Virat Kohli 100. Do you know what else I want to see? I want to see a Babar Azam 100. It's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a hot minute as well, especially in Test cricket. That's what I want. So for both Virat and Babar, I want 100. I also want Steve Smith to get 100. Obviously, like I said, I love Steve Smith and Labuschagne and freaking, Cummins, Starc, Hazlewood, Lyon, Carey. No, no, Carey, not so much. I'm just naming players. But Travis Head was fantastic. This was a gem of an innings, probably, possibly his best knock in international cricket. Do let me know what you guys think. Obviously, do you think this is Travis Head's best knock in international cricket? If not, please do let me know which knock you think is his best knock in international cricket. But yeah, Travis Head was fantastic. 87 says day 5, 40% of chance of rain, but only 0 to 1 millimeters, according to Bureau of Meteorology in Australia. 87. I really appreciate it, man. That has been so helpful because a lot of people talked about rain on day 5. It's only 1 millimeter. That's like this much. It's not that much. It's not that much at all. So maybe the game can still go on. We'll have to see. But thank you for sharing. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Ibrahim says Saurabh Kumar, a left arm spinner, is in standby. He was playing for India A after Rahul Chahar got injured. There's a lot of injuries, a lot of places, man. Robinson went off yesterday, but thankfully bowled well this morning. But yeah, a lot of injuries, a lot of injuries. And I hope everyone stays okay, man. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. So I'm not gonna update the score or anything. I'm just gonna add because I can see that you guys might not be able to. Yeah, there we go. Let's do this because you guys probably weren't able to see the 147, right? Uh, so let's see if we can adjust that. Yeah, we've got an innings break at the moment, and CFA are not streaming, so I'm all good. I'm all good. Um, Sudhanshu says whenever Stark takes a wicket on the first ball, Australia loses the series. Based on 2 series, but fair enough. If you think so, then there's a high chance that England wins the series. Australia loses, but I really hope not. I think Australia deserves to win the series after winning the T20 World Cup, which no one called Australia. I did not hear anyone call Australia for winning the T20 World Cup, and they did. They beat teams. They beat Pakistan. Like Matthew Wade doing Mike Hussey, Mike Bevan things. Like it's only supposed to be Michaels who do these things, but no, they're like, no, it's just first name starts with an M. You can do it. So like Bevan did it. Hussey's done it. Hussey did it in that World T20 World Cup as well. And then obviously Matthew Wade in this T20 World Cup. Crazy, absolute madness. Australia were outstanding. I think Australia has the better team on paper in Test cricket right now compared to England, especially if you're playing in Australia. Right? Consider if you're playing in England. Yes, England can play Anderson, Broad, Woakes, and then Wood, Archer, Robinson, whoever they pick, right? And Stokes, okay? And then Root can ball a bit of spin. England can definitely do that in England, but outside England, in Australia, they need a genuine spinner. And unfortunately, Jack Leach went at 7 and a bit and over or something in a test match. He got hit for over 100 runs in 12, 13 overs. That is really, really disappointing from a from an English perspective. Valuable distribution says Kuldeep was regular for some time in tests, gave his variety left arm Chinaman, but he would want to be required if seaming pitches. No, I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know. Abraham says, I don't think England will beat Australia in Adelaide under lights with the pink ball. Australia are just too good with the pink ball. I've got a feeling that they might. That's the only game I've got a feeling that they might. But we'll have to see. We definitely have to see. Abdullah says, fun story. My barber from Pakistan. So we had a bet who's winning the T20I World Cup. And I won a free haircut. Well, I'm glad you won a free haircut, Abdullah. I hope it suits you well. I hope you like it. Kuldeep is also injured, had a knee surgery during IPL second leg. Yeah, man, I heard about that. But thank you, Valuable Distribution, for mentioning this many, many times. I do understand. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, I hope Kuldeep can, get back into the old Kuldeep ways. But we'll have to see how it goes. Starc to Hameed. And the second innings begins, and I love the fact that Burns is not on strike. I love the fact that they changed tactics. I love it. I love it. I'm glad. I'm glad. See, that's proactiveness. Crick Forecast says, hello, friends. Hello. Thank you so much for joining. Please like the video. Really helps the channel. Pushes the video to every single corner of the world. Then more people join, and then we have even more entertaining interesting discussions. But thank you everyone who has joined us. Really been a pleasure so far. Been absolutely brilliant. Thank you, like from the bottom of my heart. Honestly, thank you so much. Where are we? Ooh, there we are. Starc to Hameed. Another in swinging delivery. Oh, Hameed was gonna leave it, but hits his gloves. Ooh, goodness. Right, guys. So I'm gonna, because I have to go in about 5 minutes, because my battery's probably gonna die. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a poll up just before I go. Hi, what? And I'm just gonna ask you guys, what do you guys think in terms of what do you think England is gonna get by the end of the day, end of the session, right? England's uh England's score by the end of the session. Let's put some options. Ooh, that's a good shot. That's a good shot. Good shot indeed. More than one wicket. That's a good shot from Hameed. 3 runs to get off the mark. Well done. That was a good shot through cover point there. Well, through point actually. And then more than 20 for 0. And then last option, more than 20 for more than one wicket. Right? It's a really weird question, but I hope people understand it. And I just want to hear your thoughts before, obviously, my battery dies. Would love to get your thoughts in the poll section. So much, much appreciated, guys. Ibrahim says, well, the openers for England Lions didn't do any better as England Lions were 13 for 3, as Stumps yesterday. Danshu says, do you think Australia have best top 5 in Test cricket after Head returning to form? No, I still don't think they have the best top 5. Um, if you look at recent form and stuff, right? Um, New Zealand did have had a very, 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 very strong top 5. I'm gonna bring in Pakistan because Pakistan also have had a very, very strong top 5, especially if they play in Asia. Okay. I was hoping Starc would bowl one down leg side because Burns moved again. Burns moved again. um, That's a really good question. That's a really good question, Sudhanshu. So if you look at the top 5 for India, right, you've got potentially Mayank and Rohit, right? Potentially, if you look at the best openers, Mayank, Rohit, Pujara, Kohli, and Rahane. Okay. Then for England, England's not in the contention, right? With Australia, you've got uh, Warner, Harris, Labuschagne, Smith, and Head. Then for South Africa, who do you have? You got Markram, you got Elgar, you have Bavuma, you have Van der Dussen, and then you have I forget his name, man. That guy. Well, Quinton de Kock bats at like 6'7", but their top 4 looks pretty stacked to me personally. There's one more player, South Africa, which I genuinely can't remember, which is really bad of me. So I apologize for everyone watching. Let me think. Who else? So Pakistan, yeah, Pakistan, Abid Ali, then whoever the other opener is. You've got Azhar Ali, Babar Azam, Fawad Alam. To be honest, Pakistan isn't in contention. For me, it has to be India, Australia, and then potentially New Zealand because you got Latham and Conway at the top, then Williamson, Taylor, and Nichols. So it has to be India, Australia, or New Zealand. Out! Give it out! Burns is good! Review it. Burns, review it. I think that might be missing off, but review it, review it, review it, review it, review it. But I think Starc is just, yeah, good. Good call. Reviewed it, my friend. Let's bring the review up. So far, that ball pitched in about middle leg, swinging away from Burns, hit him just at I think potentially clipping off stump. That's my call. That's why I said give it. Then that's probably out. But this is good. This is a beautiful delivery. That's not a no ball. This isn't Ben Stokes. Don't do it. Don't do it. Thank you very much, Crick Forecast. Really appreciate that. Out, says Alia. Abdullah says pair. Indeed. It is. Oh, that's too high. That's too high. That is so high. I think that's gonna miss. I think that's gonna miss. Are you surprised, guys? Yeah, I expect the Sky to actually be in the squad, but if they're going with KL, if they're going with other potential options who played in the previous Test series, then it is what it is, isn't it? Bawarazim not in good form. Yeah, that too. That's exactly my point. Um, but he scored 676, which is great. Oh, it's missing. It is missing, guys. Oh my goodness, it is missing. Why am I whispering? It's missing. Ooh, it is a wonderful referral. Ibrahim says, I think you were thinking about Keegan Peterson over. No, that wouldn't be in the test. In test, there is another guy in their top five. I'm missing someone. I'm definitely missing someone. I'll find out. I'll find out. Uh, AT70 says, who you think's winning? Australia, my friend. I think Australia's winning. Adil says, great question. I said, I get it. You mean result for lunch? I'd say 20 for one. Was going to say Burns, and you announced, and it's come on my TV now. Bad decision. Yeah, but I think it was the pressure that got to the umpire as well. Wrestle with Magic. Thank you so much for joining. Please, everyone who has joined us, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. If you like the video, sends it to more people. Really, really helps the channel, and we get a better cricket community going. Really helps. Thank you so much for joining. Um, do you think England, while concentrating too much on white ball cricket, oh, that's such a good point, cricket neglected red ball cricket, or do you think there's any other reason? No, that is one of the biggest reasons. Did you see the way Morgan leads the white ball side? The way he forces the English players and the English management to say, I want my best team out right now. Okay. But at the same time, Test cricket is the most difficult format, right? England are not the greatest team in the world right now, which in Test cricket specifically. So the large point is since 2016, England have not concentrated on red ball cricket as much as they have in white ball. And it's very evident because England is unequivocally the ODI World Cup champions and in the top two, I think, for T20s and ODIs, right? So England are really, really good. And correct me if I'm wrong in my rankings and stuff, please. I could be wrong. Um, so yeah, there we have it. Thank you. That's a very, 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 very valid point. I want to block this user, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but it's just so much spam when it comes in. I can't really read anything. Is it Zubair Hamza? It isn't, but Zubair Hamza is good as well. I think Rory Burns, 150 runs, positive. Also, there's Ryan Rickleton for South Africa. By the way, Hamza is not in the squad. Yeah, I didn't think Hamza was. But while we're here, because I've got a couple of minutes before the battery completely goes, so I'm gonna quickly check South Africa squad for India Tour 2021. I think I should have written the other one around. South Africa test squad. Let me look at this. Who does Australia have? South Africa have. South Africa going with Elgar Bavuma, De Kock, Rabada, Airway, Hendricks, Linda, Maharaj, Ngidi, Marker, Mulder. Oh, I don't know who I'm thinking of. Maybe Henrik Klaassen is the guy I'm thinking of. I don't know. But Van der Dussen's there. You got Hendricks there. You've got Elgar. You've got Bavuma. You've got Markram. They could potentially be the top five for Australia, for South Africa. I keep saying Australia for South Africa. Adil says Hazlewood will get Burns before lunch. England going one down at lunch. All right, fair point. Fair point. Love it. Thank you, everyone who has voted. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna have to end because my battery's gonna die, and I feel really bad if my battery dies, and you know you guys are left stranded in a way. I'm gonna end the poll here. 25 votes. Thank you very much, whoever's voted. Oh, it's the bowler, not the batsman. That's Riza Hendricks, right? That's a Riza Hendricks, right? Ibrahim, please correct me if I'm wrong. Um, oh, root has to open. So yeah, people are saying less than 20 and more than one wicket. 40%. Crazy, crazy stats that. Fair enough. Thank you everyone who has voted. Thank you everyone who's joined us. There's 60 in the chat. Honestly, I can't believe this. Thank you so much, everyone who's joined us. This has been an honor. This has been a pleasure for me. I want to go till the end of the session, but unfortunately, I do not have the battery to land or to go till then, unfortunately. But next time I'll make sure I do get my charger out. But thank you everyone for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. 2 overs down. England are 3 for 0. Hazel bowls a maiden. England are 275 runs behind. And there we have it. Yeah, route has to open potentially. Potentially it does. Bye, Ajat. See you next stream. Next time. Thank you very much, Adil. Thank you, Quick Forecast. Yeah, the British Shamsi is a beast. It is Riza Hendricks. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. Thank you, everyone who's watched, who's joined us. Like I said, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments if you want. Right? Watch the other videos if you're interested. And yeah, I'll do another stream. I'm not sure if it'll be tomorrow or the day after, but I'll try to do a stream in the next couple of days. I have to, the last couple of days. If not, then thank you so much. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye, guys. Take care.